to the Pez and Pork Show. I, of course, am Pork Belly, and I am joined with a special guest, Martin. And as always, Pez and Johnny in the booth. Welcome to the show, Martin.
Hello. How are we?
Nice to see you here.
It's nice to be on.
Yeah. It'll be nice
Finally.
to have some face-to-face, interaction instead of everyone's brave in the chat box, Martin.
Yeah, instead of me just sending you messages.
Yeah. And Pez, how you feeling this weekend?
I'm good, mate. Seahawks were on a bye, so it's like a win. It's like a win for me. Cowboys got battered, even better. Makes the show more fun, doesn't it?
Upset when the team's on a bye.
Who do the Seahawks play when you come off bye?
Yeah, we won't talk about that. We're going to play Christian McCaffrey in his second game back. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
I watched that Niners game and it wasn't like a bad game. It just wasn't exciting. It was just pretty. You know what I mean?
So, what type of result would you like to see? I know you're always preaching you want to see improvement, etc. But if it's 24-3, is that okay as long as they're showing improvement, or are you kind of come on, guys, 24-3?
No, yes, that wouldn't be improvement though, because if you watched the first Niners game, it's like all the blowouts we've had on score, they've always been there or thereabouts, but just shot themselves in the foot. Like this first half of the season, they just constantly shoot themselves in the foot. Really, it's obviously want to beat the Niners. Like I never want to lose to them.
That's your biggest rivalry, right?
Yeah. So obviously, I do want to get the win, but with it being Mike McDonald's first year, I think it's like the run defense has been terrible. We did better against the Rams. We really contained Kyren Williams quite well in the game. It's coming out of the bye and not, like a lot of teams come out of the bye and just half asleep, stumbling out. They need to be switched on, because if they're stumbling out, then it's not looking good, is it? Like if Christian McCaffrey starts fucking dicking them all over the field, then they've not really improved anything. What have they done during the bye week? They've done nothing. So
after watching what Baker did yesterday, Gino just needs to get the ball out quick, because the Niners defense could not get close to Baker. Like Bosa, until he got that sack, he had no pressures, and it's because Baker was just getting the ball. So they should be watching that and they should be telling Gino, do not hold the ball 2 seconds and that ball is out your hand. You know what I mean? Because the Niners defense was horrendous. They could not deal with the ball getting played so quickly. Yeah.
The thing with us, if you don't watch them week in, week out, you don't understand how bad the offensive line is. So it's so backwards. I was talking to my brother, who's a Seahawks fan as well, last night. I was watching some highlights and looking at the previous games. And it's funny because last year, Gino's biggest problem was throwing on the move. He was horrendous. He's actually better throwing on the move this year. I think the way Grubb does it, because it's psychology, he's always got a guy in space, whereas last year, if he started running and throwing it was most of the time a pick. This year, it looks like he's having more success when he's actually moving. But how do you get a guy who's always been a pocket passer to start instinctively moving out of the pocket? Because our line breaks down just like it's awful. But we're meant to be getting Abe Lucas back for this game. Whether he's anything what he was before his injury, if he can get back to that form, then we could. Yeah, that's my dog.
No, calling bullshit, Pez.
Yeah. Niners fan. Is that right?
See, the thing is though, with the offensive line coming off a bye, offensive line is one of those things that coaching can fix it. That's why you see for the last couple of years the Bengals are being getting killed for their offensive line, and it's not because of the players on it. It's because good coaching makes an offensive line better. That is something that can be improved with coaching. So after this bye, you don't know, you might see an improvement in that line with the Seahawks.
Hopefully, yeah, because it's the younger guys and I think it's the right guard spot that's just been killing us. And it might just take, having a week off, absorbing the season so far and actually having time to figure out like what they've been doing wrong. And yeah, I hope you're right. But what were you saying then, Paul? Because are you a Jets fan, did I hear?
Yeah, I was asking Martin, are you a Jets fan?
No, Ravens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Change
so
it to come on the show.
Look the other day.
Sorry?
How did the Ravens look? Their defense is looking good?
Oh, it's just so... The thing is as well, the offensive line is a problem as well, even though it's been covered up the last maybe month. And it's because what happened is that they were like, right, this offensive line, similar to the Seahawks, it's terrible. So every tight end they've got just blocks now. Like that, the Ravens, that's why Mark Andrews, I know he's been good the last couple of weeks, he's had his plays, but all the tight ends are just blocking like mad on that offensive line. And on the defensive side, with Hamilton, he's not too badly injured. It's just a sprain. They said it was the best outcome they could have had. So he will be back. But yeah, when he was out the game, it was even worse. And Humphrey, who for the last 2 seasons, considering how much he got paid, has been kind of average. But in this defence, Humphrey looks like, see if he was to miss time, I'd hate to think what would happen. Wiggins, he's obviously still learning, but we give away so many explosive plays down the field. Like, compared to the rest of I think the second highest is like 20 behind us. It's like night and day. I don't know what they're going to do on that side of the ball. Like, part of me thinks that they rate. I think it was the ex-linebackers coach who's the DC now. That is at Zach Orr. But he's really young and obviously he's learning. I wonder if they're going to get just more experienced coaching to work with him, maybe to help him. Because something like they're not going to, like, this could be, you could get to the playoffs and this defense, it could be a one and done job just because they let up 40 points.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that they're weak against a good quarterback like Burrow, Mahomes, etc. So yeah, you can definitely make a case that the Ravens could be a one and done team.
But even Bo Nix was the same. Like, there's a rookie. Like that Denver game, it's a weird one. They went for 4th down 3 times and they didn't get it. Like, if they picked field goals there, like, no, they probably wouldn't have won the game, but that game would have looked like how it was. It was a closer game than what the scoreline showed.
Yeah, I feel like with the Ravens, when I watch them, yeah, you're getting destroyed in the passing game. So any explosive team, you're going to have trouble against. But I think as long as you keep Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson healthy, I think your offense is better than everyone else's offense. But like I've always said, the best Super Bowl this year is going to be Ravens-Lions.
The funny thing is that both these teams have the same problem. So they can't run the ball if they go down. Obviously, because you start throwing the ball. So then all of a sudden, that major part of your game just disappears. So if you give up, at the start of the game, you give up 2 explosive plays, suddenly you're having to throw the ball, your running game's gone. And I only watched the highlights of the Detroit game last night, but so maybe they just didn't show all the running plays. But it seemed like Detroit had the same problem yesterday as well. Like, usually the highlights, it's full of Montgomery and Gibbs. I've barely seen them in the highlights this week. So they've got the same problem. If you go up against these teams, you take away their running game, and you take away their running game, that's when you've got a chance to beat these teams.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So how would you feel about the Ravens' Super Bowl chances if Henry gets hurt?
I wouldn't be... well, right now with this defence, I'll be honest, I'm not feeling too confident with this defence as it is. So if he went down, yeah, it'd be a big problem. However, I forgot his name. He's just came back off the PUP list. What was his name again? That Keaton Mitchell, is it?
Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, he did all right last year, I think, right?
Yeah, he was explosive last year. Like, for the touches he had, he made explosive plays. So he'll be a nice guy. I'm not saying he would ever replace the King, but see if we can get him fit alongside Henry, That would be like, it would almost be like Montgomery and Gibbs, because that Mitchell, he's got speed for days, him. So I'm actually hoping he does come towards the end of the season.
And you've got Justice Hill, so you'd have three. You'd have a three rotation where you're not burning Derrick Henry out, because it does come to a point. I feel like people from last year people have a thing where they just want to watch people fail. I don't know what it is about humans, but it's like Derrick Henry's been a monster for ages. Oh, he's injured. That's it now. He's dead. He's done.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for him to fail and all this. It's like, just let the man be great. Like, just sit back, enjoy it. If it's against your team, talk your shit. When he's not playing your team, just fucking appreciate what you're watching on the TV, because eventually all these good players are going to be gone. Yeah, they might get replaced, but you're talking generational players that you might not see for another 5-10 years doing the things that these players are doing. So people are like just wanting to watch the Ravens fall, but also hating the Chiefs as well. Like, people need a reality check. If you want the Chiefs to get beat before the Super Bowl, you need the Ravens to sort the defense out and carry on doing what they're doing, because sneakily the Texans are struggling. They've got no offensive line. Like, their defense is really good, as you saw 5 interceptions last night. But if the Ravens fall off, I don't think there'll be another team in the AFC who could stop the Chiefs. Shit, they're winning off fucking missed field goals. Like someone would come out on social media and say that ball that was given to the kicker had a microchip in it, and Roger Goodell managed to just control the ball. But hopefully the Ravens keep it up, because they're exciting. And the best thing is to save so much time, because we don't need to talk about that shit show in that list, unless you want to.
As a Cowboys fan, I have a unique perspective here. I was in the camp of saying we don't need a 31-year-old washed-up running back. Let Henry go to the Ravens. I'm okay. But I will tell you, and I am honest, when I make mistakes, it's okay. You can call me out. I will admit it. I was writing Henry off 3 years ago. And, 1 year he got hurt, and I said, well, there you go. I was right. But he has shown every year that I'm wrong. He is right. And as you said, Pez, I do enjoy watching people dominate like Derrick Henry and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I am so thankful they are not the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. Just happy it's not them. Yeah, I would even take the Jets at this point, as long as it's not the Patriots.
I don't think the Jets will take the Jets at this point.
Hey, I think I'm only 2 weeks off. 2 weeks off in my bold prediction. Aaron Rodgers is out for the year. He's not coming back. Why would he?
See, the thing with Rodgers, it's really funny, because Devante, like anyone else that does anything wrong, he hates them for life. That Devante Adams, he drops a touchdown, and Rodgers is just like, it's all right, pal, it's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I just don't like that. Anyway, we have a lot of trades to talk about. Let's get to it, Johnny.
Yeah, some wild.
All right, the first one is with the Happy Valley Division 1. The Kirkwall Cowboys has received Jacoby Myers and Demario Douglas, while the Gothenburg Angels has received Cade Otton. Go ahead.
I'm just going to jump in here and just say, I feel like with the trades, we need to have a little second screen or something. Johnny can work his magic where we can see their rosters, because on the face of it, with it being a Titan Premium league, I don't get, like, the Raiders are a dumpster fire. The Patriots, Douglas is going to get points, but you're never really going to get consistent, 20-point games out of these two, whereas in a Titan Premium league, Cade Otton is like Baker's number one for the rest of the year.
Martin, I will let you have your go, but if you don't mind, I'm going to second Pez here. It looks like a move of desperation, possibly.
Yeah.
He's 45. Maybe he's had a few wide receiver injuries or whatever, but neither of these guys are top 3 guys. They're not even flex options. I would not play either of these.
But he is a Cowboys fan, so I feel like he's just got Jerry Jones in his ear saying, "This is a good trade, this mate. Get it done."
I don't know. What do you think, Martin? Am I way off base thinking that?
Well, I went over these trades yesterday, so I'll try and be brief. But I actually didn't mind it because I'm assuming, obviously, the Kirk will. If they need wide receivers, and he's fighting, he might have Otton wouldn't have been a first pick tight end. He would have been like a backup. So you might have somebody really good there at tight end already. And that Raiders wide receiver, he's going to be their wide receiver 1. So he's going to get loads of volume. And Demario Douglas, I think just with the rookie QB now being in there and playing all right, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I think the only way for him is up. I don't think he's going to, I think he's only going to get better. So if he needed wide receivers and he already has a good tight end, which he probably does, because like I said, Otton, he wouldn't have been drafted as your first tight end. He would have been your backup. Or maybe he's just picked him up off waivers. Who knows? And then he's got 2 wide receivers for him. Personally, if that is the circumstances, I don't mind it. I think it is pretty even, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Jacoby Myers fan. And Demario Douglas, I haven't really heard that name in fantasy relevancy in the last couple of years.
I mentioned this briefly yesterday as well. See, in Orkney scoring, what I've realised in general, just as a general rule of thumb to go by, see if there's a guy, if you're in a draft and he's got he's good for a touchdown now and again, or there's a guy who gets volume. In Orkney scoring, volume is king. The more volume you get, the more chances you've got of getting these first down points, reception points, all the rest of it. So Jacoby Myers, even though you watch him play and he does nothing, seeing Orkney scoring, he might be one of these disgusting players that scores you 15, 20 points because he had 6 receptions, 4 first downs and 50 yards. And there you go, you've got 15 points. So in Orkney scoring, because he's a wide receiver 1 for that team, he's probably better than what you think he is.
Yeah,
you are right, Martin. You are right, because I was on the wrong league when I looked at his scoring, but I've gone on the Orkney scoring. And to be fair, his last 2 games he's had 20 and 25. So you are right. It might be
wow. Yeah, I'm way off base. Yeah, good job, Cowboys.
It might be one of them where Otton is better because in Orkney, I'm sure he's ranked quite. What is he? Yeah, so
for one position, Otton is the guy. See if you had one flex spot, Otton is the player you would play. But you're getting, if you're short at wide receiver, you're getting a good wide receiver plus another one. You know what I mean. So I think if that's the case, it's probably a fair trade for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I can see that.
Do you have a winner in this trade, Martin?
I think it's actually quite an even trade. I think if you're just trying to improve your team for one spot, like I said, just say it's you've got one flex spot. Otton is going to outscore the other 2 guys, but the upside of the other side is you've got a good player who's still going to score well. Plus, you've got that depth if that's what you want. If you need that, if you've got bye weeks, injuries, whatever. So I actually think it's a pretty even trade. So I'm saying personally for my team, because where I am in my team, I would have Otton, but I'm not in the same circumstance as the Kirkwall Cowboys.
Right. Before we move on, how are you doing in your Orkney?
Sorry?
How are you doing in your league this year?
I'm having a good season this season.
Yeah, and what's that record of a good season?
Well, what's that record?
My record, I'm going to give it for this. It's 9-0. It's 9-0.
Oh, really?
Look, he's trying to be humble. He's trying to be humble with that. No,
9-0, coming here with that trash.
To be fair, I was worried. To be fair, I can still lose it, but it would be a big upset if I lost it this week now. But Hurts in that first half for the Eagles, he got sacked 3 dropbacks in a row, and he was sitting on 7 points or something. Okay? And I was like, oh my, this was going to cost me. But second half, Hurts decided to show up. I wasn't complaining. I was complaining about how injured my team is. It's never been not injured. I've been setting my team on game day for 10 weeks. I just want to set my team on a Thursday and be happy for the team.
Yeah, that's impossible in this.
I'll run you through. So
all right. Well, I'm gonna. Sorry, Pez. I walked all over you there. But I am going to say that Pez, you go ahead and finish. Again, I apologize.
It's all right. So I've won 4 in a row. It should have been 5. I should be joint top, but I didn't change Singletary on my bad. Because if I changed him, I would have won that matchup. But I feel sorry for all the teams I'm playing in this league because literally my 4 wins, like my quarterbacks I played in Orkney this year are disgusting. I'm playing Derek Carr constantly. But I beat teams with Daniel Jones, Tyler Huntley.
How did you win with Tyler Huntley?
Bo Nix. Derek Carr.
Bo Nix is the top 10 QB in fantasy scoring. So
I'm just riding Derek Carr this whole season. I'm just taking teams out.
Wow, nice.
And I've literally destroyed highest score in my league, 248.96 this week. With Derek Carr. It's fucking great. Love it.
Nice. Well, I think I played the higher scoring teams early in the season. I think I have the highest points against in my league. And so I'm coming on to the softer schedule. So I have been winning a few more games than I had in the past. 4-6. Yeah. I'm going to win this week. So we'll see if I can break 500 this year and avoid Division 4.
All right, Clark, your fantasy team is living proof that you're better being lucky than good.
Hey, I'm a mad genius. I am a mad genius. I got Braylon Allen as a starting running back. What the hell is that?
That team.
Yeah, but I think he scored 11 points yesterday. Braylon Allen. Anyway.
It's not bad for a backup running back, to be fair.
Yeah. So I am going to admit that Martin has changed my mind on this trade, and I will agree with you, Martin. I would say this is a draw. Jacoby Myers being the number 1 wide receiver in Las Vegas, and Mario Douglas, Johnny mentioned, scored 11 points. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, we have St. Magnus in Division 1 between the Dublin Everton Blues. They're in 10th place at 3-6. They receive A.J. Brown, and they only have to give up the oft-injured Michael Pittman Jr. and the always underperforming Ramondre Stevenson. Pez, thoughts?
This one is more lopsided than the last one. I know Stevenson's been playing well, but Pittman is literally just a non-factor. And to get A.J. Brown for them two. Are these two mates, or are they one of them paying the other one off or something?
Well, they're both. Looks like they're just trying to avoid relegation at this point.
I don't know how you're trying to do that with Pittman.
In the 12th position, right? I am not sure what the, and of course, we don't know the overall records. 2-7 could be 2 games out in their playoffs. Who knows? But, Martin, what do you think of this one?
Well, this trade, I think it went down before Pittman was ruled out. I'm not big on Pittman at all, to be honest with you. I just thought that was just okay, you're getting somebody you can on a bye week or an injury, you can just stick him in and kind of hope for the best. Like, I didn't think that was it. Ramondre's another one of these guys. Like I've got Kamara, and I like and like Kamara's the same as Ramondre, just better in a way, but they're just disgusting in the way they score points. They get that much volume that they score like so much points. So I'm just going to check like Ramondre. I don't know how he's been doing. I'm just checking him now on my phone. So okay, last night, yes, against the Bears, he only scored 12 points, 13 points. That's not great. But the 2 games before that, Ramondre had scored 28 points and 26. So as I'm saying, he's one of these. Another one. He's a volume monster. He's not a great footballer, but he's a volume monster, and he can put up big weeks. And for somebody, I've traded for AJ Brown, so I missed his injury at the start of the season. Like I traded for him afterwards. But the AJ Brown owner, he's like, right, I've lost you for 4 weeks. You've put up points 1 week. You went out injured last week, and then this went down earlier in the week where he was. It looked like AJ Brown might not play this week. So I know, like when you look at it like that, you're like, right, okay, AJ Brown, that's an obvious pick. But see, when you put in circumstance, I can understand an AJ Brown owner who's had him from the start of the season, had to go through all these injuries, being like, you know what, give me a wide receiver that I can plug in and play when I need to. And Ramondre, he's just like a volume guy who can put up 26 points in a week.
For me, you make sense with what you're saying. It's just like AJ Brown. It is interesting with the injuries, but it's like at least get someone else except Pittman who's serviceable, because 1, he's done nothing all year. 2, he's playing through this back injury, and the Colts just look like an absolute shit show right now. So when you then look at it and go, I do see where you're coming from, and that's the thing with like I always say to Johnny, he's done his scoring so well because you can generate points from everywhere. I just don't know if I didn't check his what his game's coming up are. I do know
Ramondre is a bit boom or bust. He is. He can be a bit, maybe not full boom bust, but he can be very average. But then he does have those upside weeks. But I agree with see with that Pittman. I have to agree. I would have liked somebody else instead of Pittman as well. Like I've not been big on Pittman.
Really, when you're giving up AJ Brown, I do get where you're coming from, because sometimes you get that frustrated with a guy who you drafted high, they've just busted. You just kind of like, it's like rage quitting, isn't it? You're just rage quitting on him and just getting off my fucking team. I've had enough of him.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can, with what you're saying, because that's one angle I don't really look at, volume and stuff like that with how Johnny's done the scoring. Ramondre, he might pull a blinder off towards when it matters the most to not get relegated, because they've got the Rams next, that it could have a bad game, but then he goes Miami, Colts, Cardinals, and Bills when it matters the most. And the Bills really struggle against pass-catching running backs, and that's something Ramondre does to an okay level. Like, well, if Ramondre can get back to the form he's shown in previous years, he can do it at a really good level. So Gibson, like I tried telling my mates who said he's going to be a factor this year, is a non-factor anyway. So with looking at the volume of it, he might get a steal on this trade solely because where it matters the most, he might pick up the wins through Ramondre to keep him from getting relegated, because these two look like they're in a relegation battle at the moment.
Like I have AJ, but I'm saying I've got him, and even last night, see through the first 2 quarters or something, he was looking like he was going to AJ. It looked like he was going to be a dud. Like he looked like he was only going to score like 4. He only had 4 points, but then he got a couple of big passes, and then ended up. Well, he got his predicted points. He got 18 or 19 points AJ. So in the end, but that's what I'm saying. If we just use this weekend as an example, AJ Brown scored 18 points in Orkney, and Ramondre scored 12.5. So, I mean, obviously, AJ was obviously the better pick this week, but Ramondre does have that opportunity to put big points. I think the downside to this is I would probably side with the AJ side just because I'm not big on Pittman. Like, I don't know if you've really gained much. I think that's a clever trade. See, sometimes when you're doing a trade, you just put a big name in, a name that somebody recognises, and then that can get you a trade over the line. And I'm maybe thinking that's what's happened here.
Yeah, because if you look at AJ Brown coming up, when you talk volume, he's got Washington next. Lattimore's going to come in. They have Saint Juice, who's all right. So their secondary could get better, but at the moment, you can kind of throw on them. So AJ could go off there. The Rams are looking all right. Then he's got the Ravens, and we've already spoke about that. He could have a massive game against them. Johnny's chucking in inside jokes here. But then it's like where it matters the most. Like if Washington do then get solid by the back end of the year with Lattimore there, then he's got to face the Steelers and Washington and Dallas back to back to back in the weeks that matter the most, whether he's going to then get relegated or not. So it'll be an interesting one to... Johnny will have to keep us updated with how these two do.
Well,
on the around
I am going to go with
podcast.
the AJ Brown side just because of big weeks. AJ Brown could go off for 35, 40 points 1 week and guarantee you a victory. Well, I mean, how many weeks do you see Stevenson or Pittman going off for 30? Hardly ever.
I mean, Pittman might be done for the season. We don't know. He might just decide to get surgery now. That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, Pittman, if you remember, about 4 weeks ago, they called him out for the season because he was going to have surgery. And then literally 2 days later, they came back and said, nope, he's going to play through it. So they could be calling his season at any moment. They really could. So I wouldn't be surprised, actually. But I like Pittman. I think his QB situation is untenable. But so who do you have real quick, winner, AJ Brown side or the Pittman side? Martin?
I would side with AJ.
AJ. Pez?
Yeah, I'll go with the AJ side.
Fair enough. 3-0 AJ side. Well done, mates. Let's go to the next one, Johnny. Dwarfy staying Division 4. The Birmingham Bears getting the rookie Xavier Leggett, while the Plymouth Assassins has traded for Jonathan Brooks that was ruled out yet again. To me, this looks like a trade just to make trades at the end of the season. The Bears perhaps adds depth in their wide receivers while giving up next to nothing in Brooks, really. But who knows? Maybe he will roar back in the second half of the season. Martin, thoughts?
Well, it's quite funny. I've tried to see since like week 2. I've been trying to get just because I thought upside for the playoffs. Like you're not expecting it to actually probably work, but you're just thinking, oh, it might happen. I've tried to trade for Jonathan Brooks in loads of leagues, and I've probably offered more than what went down here, and I never got up. I gave up trying to get him 2 weeks ago. Like nobody, all these teams that drafted him in the 5th, they've all got losing records, but nobody wants to let go of him. So I gave up trying to get him. But
in a dynasty league, I'd love to have Brooks. In a redraft league, I don't know.
No, it's more for like you're taking a punt on the upside. You're just thinking, right, if he is as good as what he was in college, and then he just takes NFL by storm during the end of the season, that could win you a fantasy league. It's one of those trades you try and make just to try and win a championship, basically.
Yeah, he's 2-7, trying to avoid Division 5, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to look at Leggett's scoring because he's the wide receiver 1 now in Carolina. So he might just be another one of those guys where he might just get loads of opportunities and he might get a lot of points. Like, that's just what I'm saying. He's like yesterday, he put up 9 points, but the 2 weeks before that, he put up 17 and 18. So I don't know. He might be a guy like a flex. Like you're getting a flex guy. You can play in the flex.
Cover some buys.
So for me, looking at this straight out of the bat is the guy who's in first. I'm guarantee he doesn't need Leggett because no one there's no if you needed a wide receiver, there's no point doing this because they play the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Eagles, the Cowboys. Well, they could be facing the Cowboys, so like the 5th seed by that point. The Cardinals, the Bucks, the Falcons. I don't see how they win, except for the Cowboys, a single one of them games. But I don't. Even the Cowboys.
The Giants, who knows?
Even the Cowboys.
If they can beat the Giants, they can beat anyone.
Even the Cowboys, solely because the Cowboys' defense and secondary is still good enough to make Bryce Young shit his pants. Like, I don't see him winning a single one of them games. Watching Texas, like following Texas the last couple of years, like Jonathan Brooks is an absolute monster, and I get it. Everyone wants to see Jonathan Brooks on college if we get that. But I just look at the Plymouth Assassins as, like Johnny said, they can't get relegated. They're 2-7.
Right.
Like, they're punting on Jonathan Brooks, as Martin said, doing what college is. But realistically, the things I've been reading is the Panthers are going to bring him back, but they're not, like, they've just paid Chuba Hubbard, like, massive, and he's literally going to sit behind Chuba Hubbard the whole year. That's what I read. They're not going to rush him back, even when he's back healthy playing. They're going to ease him back in, because what's the point in killing him in a season where they're doing nothing? I
agree with like I'm saying, this is somebody I've tried to trade for Brooks, but like I'm saying, that's just like a 5% play. Like my personal opinion in this is Hubbard's going to be the main guy. I even think he'll be next season as well. I actually see if I was in a draft for next season, unless the summer reports and training camp come out really positive for Brooks. If I was to draft either of these guys in redraft right now, I would draft Hubbard, because I just think he's the safest one, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Best ball.
I can understand why the Bears got Leggett, because Johnny just posted their wide receiver roster there. They have Demarcus Robinson, Juan Jennings, Lockett. I'm guessing that's Keenan Allen, Samuel, and Scary Terry. That's not, a strong wide receiver room there.
Especially when you need to play 3 in Orkney. So.
Right. And Wan'Dale Robinson. Well, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to play Jennings, McLaurin, and then he might play Leggett in that third wide receiver. It'll be between him and Lockett, maybe. You know.
No.
So smart trade by the Bears.
Do you know what? Watching that Niners game last night, Jennings is he's technically got a wide receiver 1 there, because he's literally just playing Brandon Ayuk's role. Now, if Ricky Pearsall, who was getting a lot of targets and look yesterday, what was that?
Yeah, Pearsall scored a few points yesterday. He did well.
He potentially nearly got 2 touchdowns. Like, he got his first touchdown, but he nearly got 2 yesterday. Like, Purdy clearly likes him, so it'd be an interesting one. But Jennings seemed to be doing the Ayuk role. Debo was on his bullshit, running around, bloody running, catching, falling over, getting hurt.
19.8 points yesterday. And the week before the bye, he scored 14 against the Cowboys. So, Pearsall's looking good. But back to the trade. Pez, the winner, the Bears or the Assassins? What do you think?
The Bears.
Bears. Martin?
I think it's a 50-50, to be honest with you. I don't think there's much in it.
Really. I am going for a push, but giving the Bears props for strengthening their wide receiver room. All right, Johnny, I think we have one more. Is that right?
Sure, this is my
here we go. This is a very interesting trade. In my old division, the May Show
4 more.
Division 2.
4 more.
Huh?
Did Johnny just say 4 more trades?
By the way, this division, this is the division you want to be in, right? It's trade mad, and from first place to 11th, there's like 1 win in it. Like everyone's in this division, everyone's 6-4. Like everyone is mad. This is the division you want to be in.
So we're going to have to speed up our analysis, all right? Because we're already 50 minutes in, and we have 4 more trades to talk about. So let's keep the comments quick and snappy on the next few here. So we got the Dickens Heath Demons 6-3 in first place. with the Crew Juggernauts at second with the same 6-3 record. The Demons receive DJ Moore and Jackson Smith Najiba, while they send Brian Robinson to the Juggernauts. Pez, thoughts?
Just on the base surface of it, without looking too deep into it, it looks quite fair to me. Brian Robinson has been struggling with an injury. You don't know, is it one of them nigglers? Is he going to have that all season? Is that going to hold his production down? If not, that's great. Jackson Smith and Jigbert, if the Seahawks don't watch that Rams game on repeat and go, right, well, I know we got DK Metcalf, but this kid's fucking amazing, then he could literally be a fantasy, he could be fantasy dynamite for the second half of the year for any team. And DJ Moore, he's going to have his games. He seems to be getting pissed with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is just shit. Obviously, he's not. He's got the talent, but he's playing like dog shit. But Eberflus is going to get himself sacked soon, but then might just release the whole offense. And by the back end of the year, DJ Moore could start getting you some fantasy points because they don't need to win, do they, to get them up. So it looks quite even on the very base surface of it to me.
All right. Yeah. Martin?
I think I'm really similar to Pez. I think the DJ Moore Jackson side has the bigger upside. I think Brian Robinson has the safer floor. But I think the biggest thing about this trade is it's first place and second place trading with each other. I mean, see, when I'm making trades in leagues, I try not so I'm in first. I would not be wanting to trade with second or third. So I think that's the biggest thing about this trade. It's first and second trading with each other.
But seeing as you could lose one game and drop to 11th, then I think
I like what the team said here, as I believe Pez said earlier. It's a 3 wide receiver league with a couple of flex spots, having a couple of solid wide receiver options. I like that. I like what the Demons did. I would give the Demons the nod here. Pez, you?
Yeah, I'll go with the Demon side personally myself.
Martin?
I'll go with the Crew because it's the safer floor. I think I'll take that.
Excellent. All right, Johnny, let's get to the next one. All right, another one in the same division, the Bonnie Rig Cheeseheads in 9th place at 4-5 against the Portland Lumberjacks with the same 4-5 record. In 8th place, another one of those 8-9-1-2 type trades. The Cheeseheads received Devontae Smith and Najee Harris, while the Lumberjacks received Tyreek Hill. And I will go ahead and go first here. I certainly like the Cheeseheads move here. Najee Harris is quietly having a great year for the Steelers, as I predicted. And Devontae Smith, he's not going to have the weekly 20-point games, but he will bust out with his 25, 30 points every 3 or 4 weeks. And he's always a solid 10 to 15-point contributor. Tyreek Hill is injured. The quarterback situation is always iffy in Miami. Tyreek Hill might miss the next 2 or 3 games. Who knows? So I would give the edge to the Cheeseheads. Martin, what are you thinking?
Every other year, this trade was done before Tyreek was injured, by the way, but every other year I would have took the Tyreek side. But just for this year, I think I am on the Devonta and Najee side of this one.
Yeah, with the way Najee's playing and with Russ being quarterback, and he has that balance of knowing how to feed the running back, get them into play them good positions and stuff like that. The Cheeseheads, I think, have got the one. Just with how Miami's been playing at the moment.
3-0 the Cheeseheads. And by the way, I'm not saying getting Tyreek Hill is a bad option. As you said, this was before the injury. But
Dolphins just look a bit broken at the moment, don't they?
That's right. Unless you have A-Chain, apparently. All right, let's get to the next one, Johnny.
Yeah, no one.
All right, the same division.
I want to be in this division. This division's chaos.
Kilmarnock Kings at 4th with a 6-3. Wow, 6-3 and 4th in the number one is 6-3.
What was that name?
Kilmarnock Kings. How do you say it, Pez?
You say it's Kilmarnock.
Again?
Kilmarnock.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have to take an English class to learn how to speak English.
Kilmarnock.
My. Against the Belfast Bench Warmers. Martin's cracking up here with a 5-4 record. Scottish class. There you go. I needed to take a Scottish class here. My gosh. All right. So they get DeAndre Hopkins, the new wide receiver 1 toy for Mahomes, while the bench warmers receive DeAndre Smith. And I will go ahead and go first in thinking about the time. I am definitely going with the Hopkins side here, hands down. I've never been a DeAndre Swift fan. The Bears' offense is broken. Eberflus has no idea what he's doing. Hands down, Hopkins. Pez?
I'm with you. I'm not a big Swift guy, but to be honest, except for against New England, he's 20 plus points, 30 plus points every single week for 5 straight. So I'm going to have to stay. No, change my mind. I'll go with the Hopkins. I'll trust in Mahomes because I've just seen his schedule going forward.
Yeah. All right.
And if we carry on, they're just going to be disgusting.
Martin?
Well, I was going to say I think it's an even trade, to be honest, but I'm just going to Swift's points here. He scored from week 4, he scored 36, 25, 26, 26, 20, and then last night he only scored 10. But, I mean, with those points, I mean, I think you have to go the Swift side just because of what he's done, but who knows, this might be the downward spiral now, but I don't like Swift at all. Either I'm the same, but I'm probably just going to go even, but Swift has put up big points this season. Eh?
I was going to say that, but then look from week 12. So against Green Bay next week, he'll probably have another big game. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, Swift. But then he goes the Vikings, Detroit, San Francisco, the Vikings, Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that could
I'll let you guys in on a little trade that I made in preseason. I really don't like Swift at all. I had Swift on my team on an orphan, and I traded him for Jaleel McLaughlin.
Okay. Right. Shall we get on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do the next one, Johnny. Wow, some big names here. Mullhead Division 4. These are the trades I love. The Aberdeen.
Oh, this is my division.
4th place. At 6-3, 6-3 and 4th. Wow, the top heavy league here receives the broken Cowboys wide receiver offense, CeeDee Lamb, while the Yorkshire Los Muertos at 10th place and 3-6 receives Jonathan Taylor and Tank Bigsby. Again, I will go ahead and go first in interest of time. I am a Jonathan Taylor fan. I was predicting top 3 running back numbers this year. However, that hasn't happened. Bigsby has been a surprise, while Lamb has been consistently above average, but not the great Lamb that he was last year. I would still probably take the Lamb side on this trade. If Dak was healthy. Without Dak, I'll go with the Jonathan Taylor side. Martin, what about you?
I'm just assuming, like, position-wise, that, like, okay, one needs a receiver and one needs a running back. So I'm just going to take that out of it. But I don't think Tank Bigsby is anything in this trade. Like, I think he's just nothing. And judge it, but just see after watching that Cowboys offense last night, I'm sorry. I would take Jonathan Taylor every day of the week right now. That was, you know what? That was unprofessional last night by the Cowboys. That's how bad that was. It wasn't like the players weren't good enough. It was just poor in every way. Like it was like they weren't ready to play an NFL game, eh? So I couldn't pick any Cowboys player right now.
So this is my division. And I love the fact that Stevie took CD Lamb and gave away Jonathan Taylor and Tanks Bigsby, because even though ETN is probably still the one, Tanks Bigsby still can put points, because at the moment in our division, from first to sixth, there's 2 games in it. I think at the moment, except for the guy in sixth, the top 5 are all winning. We're all winning. So first is on 7 and 2. There's 3 of us on 6 and 3, and then 2 on 5 and 4. So it looks like one of them's going to drop to 5 and 5, but everyone else is winning and moving up. So I just think, but the thing, what was it? Because I was looking at Stevie's team, and he's got Kareem Hunt, James Conner, Rashad White, Tyrone Tracy, Brian Robinson, and they're all his running backs. So you can see why he's let Jonathan Taylor go to try and then get CD Lamb, because his wide receivers are Devontae Adams, he played CD, so Devontae Adams, CD Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Westbrook Akine, but he's getting Mike Evans back after the bye. So really, when you look at that, his wide receivers aren't that good, so he's trying to take a punt.
Yeah.
Because he's got such good depth in his running backs. I feel like he's just trying to take a punt on CD, and he probably watched that game last night and cried his little eyes out, even though he won his game. And I'm just laughing because the way the Cowboys looked, CD might as well just go on holiday now and not get injured, save himself.
We should be throwing in the towel, hoping for a top 5 pick. Next year's draft is stacked in the top 10. We should not be. If he wants to move on from Dak, we got 2 great quarterback options next year, right? The mobile guys that Jerry Jones likes.
Who's your 2? Just out of interest.
Cam Ward. You also have Shedeur Sanders. I probably would not take either if it was me. I think Shedeur Sanders is being propped up by his dad, but who knows? Martin, you watch college ball at all?
I don't know. I don't. I know that I've seen things about that boy that is it Travis Hunter. He plays both sides of the ball.
Oh, did you see that's Jerry Jones guy right there? Jerry
Jones. I'd love to see things like that. Like it's like, see for me, come up and makes me buzz about the Ravens this year. It's seeing the King and Lamar together and see somebody being able to play both sides of the ball. I'd love to just see that, just to see if it works.
Deion Sanders, right? Back in the Cowboys, Travis Hunter.
So Travis Hunter, I like the last couple of years I've got into college ball, and then I've got ways now where I can watch it weekly without having to rely on Sky Sports feed. Nice. And I was interested in this Colorado game against Texas Tech. I know they weren't doing well in the first half at all. And it looked like they were going to get beat. And then I was out at fireworks to look back, in the second half, Travis Hunter was nowhere to be seen, hadn't had a reception or anything. He had 16 targets, 9 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Like, that kid is filthy.
Yeah. He's a top 5 guy in both positions. He should be winning the Heisman if there was any common sense in voting. By the way, Arkansas Razorback hat. So, Pez, who do you have as the winner here? Real quick, one word. Bucks?
I'll go, yeah, the Jonathan Taylor side for me.
Jonathan Taylor. All right. So all 3 of us went the Taylor side. All right. Johnny, I think one more? Or is that it?
No need to stress. We have the couch for you with Dr. Pez.
Dr. Pez. I have some problems. As Martin says, I'm always got these mental issues with me, I am especially in fantasy. And the one that has been bothering me recently is the fine wine out in Seattle. I heard it was going to be the year to buy the Seattle wine. The particular Charbonneau or Charbonnet. I gave it a little taste. It's a bit sour. What's the issue here?
He's just not as good as Ken Walker. Simple as you watch a Seahawks game and you watch Ken do what he does and then you watch Zach do what he does, and you see there's a stark difference. Zach's a good running back, but there's a stark difference between great and good. So,
Is
quick
Charbonnet a
example-
second-round running back? Is he of that level, or did the Seahawks do a swing and miss?
Pete Carroll did a swing and miss for some daft reason because you had Ken Walker already. Like, it made zero sense. Zach Charbonnet can do some stuff, but for me, the thing is, right, in Zach Charbonnet's good games, he gets going in the fourth quarter. So the first 2 weeks when Ken were out, well, the second 2 weeks, 22 and 34 points. That's great, but he didn't really do all that much until later in the game.
Right.
Because he's a big body running back, so he'd probably wear teams out more physically than like Ken. He's more elusive, slick, bounces to the outside. But the stark differences in the Rams game, I think it was, Ken, like he'd bounce into a wall of his own old lineman because they're shite and can't create a gap. But then he'd bounce and then create his own shit. Zach Charbonnet bounced and then almost tried to bury into the pile. But there's a body of like 10 men all mashed together, and he just tries to nestle himself in. Like, bust it out to the outside. Like, unless Ken gets injured, where he's staying healthy this year, this is probably his first year where he's kept himself pretty clean. I can't see Charbonnet being relevant at all.
So we have Dr. Pez's analysis here. Nurse Martin, what are your thoughts?
I think Pez had it on the nail on the head. He did. You know what else as well? It's been good for Ken Walker this year as well. He's getting receptions now. You know, he's getting the receptions, but it's just that just takes him even further away. So yeah, I agree with everything Pez said. I just think he's that much better that he's just going to be on the field all the time. I've been called worse.
And Ken Walker, I know people might say it's biased, but unless you watch Seahawks games, where the offense is clicking, and just watch him, he is by far one of the best running backs in this league, by far.
See, that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I think like this guy, he might just be a better player than he's a fantasy player. But see, when I watch Zay Flowers, I'm just like, this guy, he's eventually going to have to be a fantasy stud because he's so good. Like, surely, eventually, it's going to click in fantasy for him as well.
He might need to move. He might need to get more, more of a pocket passing quarterback, who's got a bit more touch, one of the older guys. Who stands there and just finesses the ball a little bit, whereas Lamar's always bouncing around on his bullshit, running around and that. And Zay might not do that, but the way he kills defenders on the line, like they have no chance whatsoever. Like it's 2 steps and he's just he's got 10 yards on the closest defender. He's ridiculous, like how good he is. But
so
yeah,
Zay Flowers analysis from Nurse Martin, the fantasy expert, or Martin Haldane, the Ravens fan?
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, in fantasy, he's not like, you've got these upper wide receivers. He isn't one of them. But see, for me, on the pitch, he is an upper class wide receiver. He's one of those players where he is as good, in my opinion. He is elite. He is going to be there. But it's whether or not he's going to be that in fantasy. Because I think the problem is some games he only gets like 4 targets, and you need more than 4 targets to put up big points.
Well, I appreciate the soothing words. You make me feel much better.
This year he's wide receiver 9, so he's kind of showing it there. Like it's like Ken. I had an argument with my mate who he doesn't watch like. We go to the bar every Sunday nearly and watch Red Zone and stuff, but he doesn't watch like full games or stuff like that and things like that. So. Like we're in a couple of leagues, Martin. Like Johnny knows full well. If I'm in a league, Ken Walker's mine. Like I'll take him in the first. It's outrageous. Like I'll skip everyone. I'll take him in the first if I have to. If I'm in a league with Johnny, and he has the better snake, like in the snake, if he's got the better side to me, I'll take Ken in the first just so he can't get him. Like, it's simple. Like, and that is a lot of bias.
I've had the.
I'm talking about Ken Walker here.
I'm starting to feel a bit ill again. I have other issues to talk about.
The Cowboys.
How crazy am I, Nurse Martin, Dr. Pez? How crazy am I to think the Steelers have fantasy relevant players and can actually end up being a number 1 seed or even a team to beat the Chiefs? How crazy am I? Am I going fanatical here?
I think Pickens and Najee are the two. Pat at tight end, if it's the right matchup, you could stick him in, but those are the only two I'd be interested in, is Pickens and Najee.
Pickens, top 10 wide receiver in fantasy?
No. I think on the right weeks, he can be a top 5 guy on the right weeks, but no, I don't think he'll be a top 10 guy, like
consistently.
Pez? Dr. Pez?
Yeah, I think the more Russ gets comfortable in this team, then if you've got Pickens, you want to feel comfortable with yourself. Najee. If you've got Jalen Warren, when Najee went out for a couple, he looks just ready to go and rip it. Like, if I was a Najee manager, I'd be concerned because
has Najee missed time this year? I think last
no.
year.
In this game, he went down with a suspected ankle injury, and
okay.
Jalen Warren came in for a couple of series, and he was just like a bowling ball, like electric. I'd just be a bit concerned because the Steelers, the way they are, they'll slow the game down like they do. Like, everyone knows how Tomlin likes to play it. They'll start using both of them again, and it might start eating into each other in a fantasy relevance. But Mike Williams, George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, like, especially in Orkney scoring, you got to be confident if you're one of the managers of them players. Because, like, Mike Williams, 1 target, 1 reception for a touchdown, outscored some other wide receivers yesterday. Some other wide receivers you would actually start as well. What's fucking insane. But it's all on Russ. Russ gets comfortable and he's happy. You can see it. Like, he didn't want to go Denver. It's a different conversation. This didn't want to go Denver. He was fucking miserable. Look at him at the Steelers. He's like his old self again. Like, if I was a Steelers fan, I'd be very confident in the season going forward.
Good. They're solid. Okay, we will take this from Johnny in the booth, and we will let Nurse Martin go first here because you have such soothing words and a nice voice. Best rookie running back thus far.
I'm actually having a mind blank of the rookie running backs that are actually starting right now.
Ray Benson, just to let you know, has been starting to produce the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think he had 10 plus points this week, which is not bad as a backup to Connor in Arizona. We have Jonathan Brooks. We have Braylon Allen.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Actually, I forgot. Yeah. See, Bucky Irvin. He's the one I'd go for. I watched him last night, and remember Tony Pollard at the Cowboys before he got injured. Mind they had that, and everyone was like, right, he has to get more time. He needs to replace Zeke. That's what Bucky Irvine reminds me of this season. He's just got so much juice. He is the guy. That's the one I would probably pick, actually, just because he reminds me of that Tony Pollard season.
Pez, you have an opinion here, Dr. Pez?
Yeah, Bucky Irvin, but Tyrone Tracy, the way he's been playing these last couple of weeks, he could catch him by the end of the year. But for now, it's got to be Bucky Irvin, the way he's established himself.
If I was doing a dynasty draft today, how crazy am I to go in this order? Trey Benson, Braylon Allen, Tyrone Tracy.
I just see the thing with Benson. Connor is that good. He is that offense. He's that whole offense. Like, he is not going to. That's Connor's job to lose because he is the offense now. Unless he suddenly goes off a cliff, he will always be plan one in that team.
The thing, I do understand where you're coming from, Paul.
3 years ago.
I do understand where you're coming from, Paul, because Trey Benson yesterday, and Trey Benson these last couple of games has looked everything like you were expecting to come out of college. And we were all expecting by now Connor to be injured. But Connor just looks like a man possessed this year. And I cannot see Trey Benson taking anything away from him except for injury. But Connor just looks like he's on a roll at the moment. So him, Braylon Allen, no. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Pez. Dr. Pez. I apologize, Doc. Which running back is the biggest surprise? Tyrone Tracy or Braylon Allen?
Tyrone Tracy.
Really? Okay. There's Martin.
Obviously I don't watch college football at all, but I'd just through like things like podcasts and stuff, I'd at least heard of Braylon Allen. I'd never heard anything about a guy called Tyrone Tracy. So it's definitely him for me.
I was picking up Eric Gray thinking he's going to be the guy. And how wrong was I?
But everyone on depth charts and stuff before the season said that Eric Gray was meant to be the guy. And Tyrone Tracy's just beat everyone out. Like, when you beat a veteran like Singletary out and then okay backup like Eric Gray, you know the guy is legit. And he puts up, like, obviously for us in fantasy, he's putting the points up. So, yeah.
And, you know, in particularly this year with so many injuries, you know, the guys we're talking about here in the last few minutes, even Edric Esteem, or Estemi, I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. I would say Esteem. You know, those type of guys are going to decide championships with the injuries we have. I mean, Javonte Williams is turned into a nobody, right? I mean, Singletary has done nothing. And all the other injuries that has been in the NFL. So, Nurse Martin, I know that you also had mentioned that perhaps you have some things troubling you. Do you have a question for Dr. Pez?
Yeah, there is one. So right now, my tactic is I've got so many backup running backs on my bench right now. And the other thing I've got two Green Bay wide receivers. I've got Wicks and I've got Watson. And eventually, when my team finally gets healthy, I'm going to have to pick between Watson and Wicks. And the reason why I've got them both is because their end of year schedule is really good for wide receivers. So which one? Because I know I'm going to drop the wrong one. Which one would you keep, Watson or Wicks? When it comes to, I'm not saying right now, but I'd say in a couple of weeks, maybe next week, depending on my IR, I'm going to have to probably drop one of these boys. And I'm not needing them for right now. It's for the last 4 games of the season, I think it is. They've got a really good schedule for wide receivers.
I'm just looking now.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, because see, before I was leaning Wicks just because he gets more targets, but the last 2 weeks, Watson's actually had more targets. So I'm just like, what the hell do you do?
So it's so hard because they're ranked exactly the same. The only thing I'd say with it is Watson is consistently on the field, like snap percentage wise. You can't really separate them. Wicks has the big blow-up games. Watson has the big, like the steady games.
That's right.
But when you look at snap percentage, Watson is on the field more than Wicks. So Wicks is like almost like a boom or bust. Watson has a bit of a steady points. If it's just a flex guy you're talking, and I just don't know. I really like Christian Watson. I feel like he might not be getting the targets as much because of all the injuries he's had. So whilst they don't need to use him, they're kind of just, balancing him out. So I'd lean towards Watson.
Oh, well, there you go.
But now Pork said that.
Owners
maybe
giving advice to the 9-0 Mark.
Do you know Do you know what it
I
is?
go towards Watson as well, but I'm just like, I'm just going to drop the wrong. And to be fair, this is one of these things. This is a championship flex play. Like, this is like, okay, I'm in the playoffs. And I just think, I know he's like, these are like the wide receiver 3 guys, but I think because of the guys are playing, I think they're going to have good flex weeks.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you could trade Wicks for another backup running back. Who knows?
Well, I've already got. Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm playing the injury game right now because look, if one of these Green Bay guys goes down, Watson and Wicks, they're going to get so much more volume. And I think I've got 3 or 4 backup running backs. So if any of these running backs go down, I'm going to have a number 1 running back as well.
I love Reed. And did you know that Johnny is a huge fan of Jalen Reed? He has a signed jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, of Jalen Reed. That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, Johnny, I think we have received the advice of Dr. Pez. Thank you, Doc. I feel much better. And thank you for coming in my time of need, Nurse Martin.
You're welcome.
Very soothing with your words.
I'll come tuck you into bed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't forget the milk and cookies, please. or some whiskey, whatever.
A Bloody Mary.
All right, Johnny, let's get to it. So Johnny, what college did Reed play for?
Spartans, Michigan
State. All right, nice.
So did Jalen Naylor for the Vikings. Yes.
Okay.
For my sons.
May I ask why you chose Michigan State?
Well, when I went to the Giants game against Miami way back in whatever it was at Wembley, one of my mate's friends, he worked at Michigan State University. He's from England, but he's in Bath, but he worked there for a bit, so he got me following them, and then I just followed him.
East Lansing, I believe, is where the Spartans are located. Yeah, I much prefer Michigan State Spartans over the Michigan Wolverines. I'm with you, John.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Let's go Spartans. Yeah, Magic Johnson is also a Spartan, for people that don't know. Yeah. Looks like Pez is either locked up or he had to take a small break. He may have got a phone call from, Adam Schefter with an urgent update. So I'm sure we'll hear that update shortly. So Pez, did you have a call from Adam Schefter? Did you get an update?
No.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm glad you're back, and I tell you, last week I believe Pez and I picked the Bengals. I
picked the Ravens.
I think Johnny picked the Ravens.
Yeah, myself and Martin both picked the Ravens.
Why on earth would you bet on a team called the Bloody Bungles? You are mad. I can use losing your hair, but you can't be pulling it out.
Martin, I have been a fan of the NFL since 1986, so I can remember when the Ravens were the Browns. Okay? And when they moved to Baltimore, I hated the Ravens.
Just flexed
My
on you.
hatred has subsided. Now I am neutral with the Ravens.
He has no emotion left.
And so I will always be a closet Bungles fan. All right? I just can't help myself. But, of course, I'm going to go with Joe Cool every time. And they almost pulled it off, man. They almost pulled it off. A 2-point conversion.
To be fair, I know they're getting killed for that, and I disagree. Like, I like it when a team is on a roll like that and they go for the 2. I think it's the right call every time. If they lost that coin flip, whoever won that coin flip was going to win that game, I think.
You can't win because the week before.
Saying it's a bad thing, 50% saying it's a good thing.
Oh,
sorry, Johnny, what were you going to say?
The week before, the Buccaneers chose to go for the 1 point. Then the Chiefs got the ball and scored, so they can't win either way.
And we're saying the Bucs should have gone for 2, right?
Yeah, so you're one if you lose, one if you don't. But damned if you
That's
do.
Right. That's right. So this week we have, I think, a fun matchup, even though I literally hate both of these teams. The Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who would like to go first? Martin?
Well, I'll go the Commanders.
Okay. Johnny's going Commanders. Martin?
I'm going to go I like to watch the Commanders play, but I think the Eagles are just going to have too much for them.
Pez?
Commanders.
I'm going Eagles with Martin. I just feel that the Eagles at home will be.
I don't know if they're going to. Barkley never came back in, so Barkley might be out for this game. But Gainwell actually, just from, I'm not saying I've not looked at the stats, but just judging by what I've seen with my eyes, Gainwell actually looked pretty good, to be fair.
He was running pretty well, actually. Yeah, but he's a good player. He's never going to be the number one.
Eagles running game last year wasn't that bad, even with Swift. If you remember when the Eagles, the head of security had an argument with the fans, and he was suspended for the rest of the season. The Eagles just collapsed. It was like, who knew the head of security was the key to the Eagles' success?
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? That's craziness. But Nick Sirianni apparently loves that guy. The best friends type thing. So, it's an interesting thing there. So we have Martin and myself with the Eagles, Pez and Johnny with the Commanders. This should be a fun game to watch. All right. What do we got next, Johnny? The Pez and Pork Fantasy Draft, one of the most popular segments in our show, where we have random teams and we must pick a player from that team on our in our fantasy draft. I believe we have one quarterback, one running back, 2 wide receivers, and 2 flex. Is that right, Johnny?
Yep, that's right. And obviously we've got Martin in the draft this week, so he can go pick number 3 before Pork, who keeps on getting all the fucking high.
Oh, you just keep trying to handicap me, bro.
Oh, Pork, you won last week.
Well, I win every week.
Well, you've been winning more since we've stopped all picking from the same team.
Pork, you've got in the total standings, you've got like a week's worth of points lead. You're winning by 140 points.
Yeah, that's just the last.
It's not enough. It's not enough, man. We got Pez right behind me.
I think we need a Dr. Pork section here. I think
Dr. Pork. No, we need some sizzling bacon section.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So let's spin that wheel.
I am first pick. Oops, sorry, Martin, you're in the way.
Sorry, what's the teams? Is it 2 wide receiver?
The Browns.
Nick Chubb.
You get it's one quarterback, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and 2 flex.
James available.
But you can pick a tight end in your flex spots.
Yeah. So it's one of each and 2 flex.
I believe famous Jameis is available here for you, Johnny.
No, I'm going to go David Njoku. Get him out the way. Get the tight end out the way.
Tight end.
Pez.
The Oaks.
Oh, flip it out. Go away, man.
1 minute. Might need to against the Jags.
You pick anyone.
Oh fuck. Sam Porter went down injured last night, didn't he? Did he come back in?
Yeah, after a long catch. I don't think he never came back in.
Right. Fuck him then.
Think about the Lions, though. You never know from week to week who is going to be.
Give me Gibbs.
Big guy. Gibbs.
Yeah, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. And we've got Martin.
All right. Martin, your pick.
Oh, my first ever pick.
The first pick. Here we go.
See if I get the bloody Giants.
You're on a bye this week. You're okay.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, come on.
Yeah, you got to go Taylor.
Yeah, I've got to go Taylor. I've not got a choice here.
Well, you could go Flacco.
No, definitely not. And I think he might get dropped.
The way he's playing, I wouldn't be surprised. What's going to get? Oh, keep it going. No, for fucking hell.
Okay,
Jaden Daniels.
I'm going with the big
Betsy.
Daniels at quarterback against the Eagles. I am a big fan of Daniels, even though I hate the Commanders.
And you'll get your
All right, I got another pick, Johnny. Let's see what I got next.
This is how he gets all the high scores.
Oh,
fuck off, man.
I'm going with JJ.
This is how he's getting all the high scores.
Fucking time.
Pez got the Lions, man.
Yeah, and you've got bloody Jaden Daniels and Jefferson.
It's like the fucking poison chalice, though, isn't it? Get away from the Seahawks.
There you go, Martin.
I've voted. I can take a running back in the flex, eh?
Yeah.
Who are they playing? I'm going to have to check who they're playing.
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna-
be-
I don't know about that one.
Who they play? Where the fuck are we?
I'm getting it then now.
Oh, I saw it before. Who they playing?
Oh,
I can't see it. The Bears.
Green Bay owns the Bears.
I am definitely going Jacobs in the flex.
Jacobs, wow. That's a name I haven't heard much this season. We should talk about that in the next Dr. Pez episode, I think. All right, Pez, your pick, my friend. By the way, your picks are in the chat box so that you can look at.
Oh, yeah.
Dickhead!
A little tease from Johnny.
Oh, he sped that fucker up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I could do anything about
Yeah.
Johnny is God in that production booth.
Oh, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You sure you don't want Olave?
it.
Out for the season.
I'd have to pay his medical bill as well.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
Oh, come on, Kenneth Walker. Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna keep on Jetson.
no.
Oh,
No. You go ahead and do your own fucking. I don't want anything to do with this.
Well, I'll have to go Brees Hall because I don't trust anybody else.
You got to go Brees Allen or Garrett Wilson, right?
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. All right.
Have you gone Brees Hall?
Yeah. And CMC.
Did I say Brees Allen?
You did, yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Brees Hall, I meant. Yeah.
CMC.
Yeah.
CMC, of course. You have to.
Oh,
No.
Well, Johnny.
Take a guess. You got to go Charbonnet. Well, that's your flex is all spoken for. That's it.
Let me guess. I'm guessing Walker.
No.
Is that right?
Well, I'll put Walker down anyway. There's no getting a choice.
You want Gino?
Let's go Gino.
Got Gino.
Gino against that.
Oh, come on, good night, Gavin. Yeah. No. This is a rig. Johnny, you blew that wheel. I seen him blowing that wheel.
I was
I think
so
it was
close
actually
to
Pork.
having Henry.
Right.
All
So,
right.
So
Who are they
far, you've got
playing?
you've got two running backs so far.
I know. I'm gonna have to. I'm just double checking who the Chargers are playing here.
Whoa, wait.
It's Martin's turn.
Pez picked CMC.
No.
No, I picked CMC.
Johnny picked CMC. I picked Ken Walker.
Johnny, I'm sorry. Okay. I need to go back and change this. Johnny, running back, CMC.
Against the Bungles.
So
You got to
Pez.
go Quinton Johnson or.
Nah, I think I'm gonna take a punt on Herbert here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to go Herbert. He's actually.
He was like a
pretty
man
well.
possessed fucking last night. Running
Yeah,
in
it
and
was
all
really
sorts. fucking not joke.
Oh, I was see if I get the Ravens now. I suppose I could. Well, I could. Nah, I
Well,
would have to
it's
take.
possible. You might get them in 2 goes. If Port gets them, you might. So,
As long as it's not the Titans or the Raiders.
Ah, here we go.
No,
he's already
every
got
week,
Jaden
man.
Daniels. So, yeah, but he's already
Well, I
got
can't
Jaden
get
Daniels.
Josh
He probably
Allen.
goes right on.
So wait, it's a super flex, right?
You say this every
He
week.
tries
honestly.
it
Every
every
week.
bloody week, man.
Every bloody
Just
week.
the flex.
All right,
the super
all right.
glue.
So I
shit,
have.
it's the Chiefs Bills next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
that's
my! Oh my!
That'd
All
be a tough
right.
one.
I'm going. So I have JJ and
Jaden
Daniels. I'm going Cook. No, I am going with the tight end.
He went out injured. I don't know if he came back or not. Kincaid. He went out injured.
Yeah, Kincaid. That's who I'm going with. But
He-
is he injured?
He might be injured. He went out, and I don't think he came back. He went
All
out.
right.
All right.
Martin.
Then I will go running back
Take
Cook.
him.
I will go running back Cook just to be safe there.
Knee injury.
All right, so I got
He
the
actually
next.
had it. He's had it for a couple of weeks, but they thought he could play through it. But he had to do it.
Nah,
It's got to be Ridley.
Okonkwo? Or Ridley. Pollard.
Ridley, who's the running back there?
Tony Pollard.
Pollard.
Ridley, somebody that's got Ridley, every second week he gets 100 yards and 2 TDs, and then he gets like 50 yards, and then he gets 100. Then he gets 100 yards and 2 TDs again.
You got a TD.
All right. I'm going Ridley. I just can't trust Pollard on a week-to-week basis. Pollard was never a running back one type guy. As a Cowboys fan, I watched him every week. He was never a running back one. Never.
Ravens Steelers, is that division?
Oh, come on.
This is what you get for laughing at me. Karma's a bitch, like, you know.
You got Devontae, you got Estini.
I'm gonna have to. I think I am gonna have to. No, I think I'm gonna have to take. I'm just double checking who they're playing, but I don't.
Bo Nix.
No, he's already got a quarterback. So
Well, they're at the Falcons. They're at home to the Falcons. I'm gonna go Sutton. I'm gonna have to go Sutton.
Yeah,
He should do
Sutton's
well the
not
last
had
couple
a
of
bad
weeks.
year. He's a top 20 guy, I think.
But bear in mind, it is Orkney Bowl scoring. So well, you need to go wide
A-Chain.
receiver, tight end, or quarterback. You can't go running back.
See, if only he took DK Metcalf, then he could have had A-Chan, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Tyreek against the Raiders.
All right. We got him.
Need to go.
You know what? You'd be buzzing about that. Everyone would be like, oh, fucking hell, he's got Tyreek. And everyone's like, oh, A-Chan. In the fucking mud.
Oh, the Raiders! The Raiders!
Rock Bowers.
Hey, Jacoby Myers, wide receiver 1.
Myers. Oh, yeah, shit, you've already took it. You
can play him on flex.
Oh, Brock Bowers. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to go Bowers. Which means I've got a wide receiver and a quarterback to get. So hopefully I get the Bengals and I can get Joe Burrow or something.
Oh, I hope you get the Jags.
Fuck off. Not the Bears, not the Bears. I'll go
Oh
Jalen.
my God, the Bears even better. 3 points.
Who did you get?
Not bad.
I'll go Jalen Hurts. At least I got one decent player.
Bad. So we got Johnny, you and me. We have Daniel's Hurts competition.
So I need a tight end and a quarterback. Oh, no. Oh, fucking hell.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford. I can't fucking take their tight end. There's non-existent.
Plus the fact that he's pretty good at these scoring for the Orton.
Against the Patriots,
Yeah, but
old man Stafford's going to get his fucking head taken off.
What do I need? A tight end and a flex?
Kyle Pitts.
you've got a tight end and a flex. Yeah.
I'm going to take Drake London.
What? Martin, listen to me, bro. I'm giving you some solid advice here. You don't want your last pick to be a tight end.
Well, look at all the teams left. They've got
Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet, Mark Andrews,
tight end or the Jags tight end.
Oh yeah, Hunter Henry wouldn't be a bad one to be honest, because yeah,
I'll take. Look, I've only got Sutton at wide receiver right now. I'm going for. I don't even. You know what? I'm really not big on Pitts, and I'm not the biggest Drake London fan either. But he's having a good season, so I have to pick him.
All right.
You know what you want to do, Martin? Fuck him.
Wait.
It's you, Pork.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say. Why does it say? Okay.
Russell Wilson.
So I need a
no,
flex.
he's got a wide receiver.
No, I need a wide receiver and a tight end. Is that right?
Mike
No,
Williams.
you need a tight end and a flex, because you've got two wide receivers, James Cook and Jaden Daniels.
All right. Well, I just
Warren.
advised Martin not to do this. I'm
Oh,
going
to be fair, you know what? I fucked up my pick because I had a flex. I should have took Bijan instead of London. I fucked up.
I tell you what, Martin. I will vote with you. I will allow you to change
No.
if you want to change.
No, it's fine.
We're
No.
voted down, Martin. We're voted down. I'm going to take Pickens.
Yeah, but you've got
This is why this is all carnage.
Sound here.
I probably should have
So
taken Harris.
you got tight end,
I got to give a tight end this time.
Evan Ingram, not a bad one.
We would have preferred him to get Cole Kmet so he could suffer.
Yeah,
no.
he had 0 points last week, I think.
Well,
All right.
Right, here
No,
we
you
go.
got-
Here's my tight end spin here, boys. Who am I getting?
Right.
well,
All right.
the only one you
Yes.
don't want is that one.
Andrew.
There's
Hey,
three good ones, I would say, and there's two bad
One no
ones.
bad one, and
Yeah.
one awful one.
Martin, who would you prefer your long term?
Oh no!
Mike Gesicki or
Yeah.
Hudson. Ooh,
Oh, you could have had
Hudson had a
Chase.
good game.
I know.
Chase if he took Pitts.
Oh my God! Instead, you got London and Gesicki.
Oh no!
So are you
Right,
going
so-
Gesicki or are you going to go Hudson?
I'll
He
go
scored two
this
touchdowns.
week. Oh, I've been done dirty here, boys. I've been done dirty.
Yeah,
I
look
don't
at my
know if I
team and shut
spelled
up.
Gesicki right. Anyway, that's how I'm going to do it.
Right,
Great.
I can take the
Great.
names
I
off there,
love
but
it.
it's
I
just
love it. Martin, you're going to learn the hard way, man. You're gonna learn the hard way.
Pez, you need you've got a
Tight
flex,
end.
is that right?
No tight
Or
end.
tight end?
Oh, I can't
Cole
believe
Kmet,
how
Cole
tight
Kmet.
ends at the
Come on,
end.
Kelsey.
Oh, God.
Come on, Kelsey.
Johnny's going to be left with Cole Kmet.
So let's get this right. Everyone's spinning for a tight end, and I'm the one that gets shafted.
I've already got a tight end. In fact, I've
You
got.
should have
I've
got Kyle
got two tight
Pitts,
ends.
man.
Oh,
Thank you, Martin.
well, Kyle
You
Pitts
said
is
we
awful.
need a segment with Pat, our boy.
Swift. Are you got a flex?
Yeah.
Swift. It's got to be Swift, hasn't it?
Oh, Dunze.
Can I pick their defense?
Yeah. I was
Against
thinking
the
maybe
Packers, I reckon Swift will have a good game.
We should add a defense to our roster.
We should have a defense and a kicker.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Why
because
not?
all right, let's just add an extra 20 minutes to the show. Let's go for
Yeah.
it.
Fucking hell. we did.
Not
Double the
today.
time.
Next week.
Maybe we can eliminate one of the flexes and add defense. I'd rather have
Nah,
a
fuck
defense.
that. It's good how it is. It's good how it is.
Or a defensive player.
No.
I
know it is.
I'm going
All
with
right,
Swift.
you got here, Johnny.
I'm going Swift.
Swift it is. All right.
Right, where we
Lovely.
at? So we're up to the
Lovely jubbly. So, looking at the lock of the week, we are going to allow our special guest to pick his Ravens against the Steelers because I know, as a Ravens fan, he will not allow himself to think he could not choose the Ravens playing the Steelers on the road. Right?
You know,
lock of the week, Martin.
You know, you're right. Ravens, let's go.
There we go. So, we got the Seahawks coming off the bye against the Niners. Yes. Lock of the week. The Puddle Chicks.
No, the Puddle Chicks are back.
The Dolphins.
Oh. I did not see that coming. Wow. I can't even see the game. They're playing the Raiders. All right. Fair enough. At home. Both are terrible. Johnny, what do you got?
I'm going with the Lions.
Lions. Cheeky. 11.5. You might as well just choke at your cheeky bastard,
no limit.
Man. There's no limit.
Last year we had a limit.
11 bloody off.
You could have chosen the Lions, Pez, if you wanted to.
Pez, remember we went the Bengals with our 9-point favourite and they lost to fucking New England.
Yeah.
That was one of the best bits of the season, those Survivor Bowls. And obviously I wasn't one of the others. I don't know what I need to tell you. You don't pick teams called the Bungles. You just don't do it. And so everyone picked the Bungles and I was just sat there. I think I picked the Ravens or whatever.
Oh my. You know, I am going to hate myself for this. I can't do it.
Do you want to do a spread limit then? I'll pick something else. So
I don't know. No, it's called Lock of the Week.
What have you said?
It's called lock with, a little bit of conditions.
Right, you're picking the Cowboys then, Pork, or what?
Yeah, I am leaning towards the Texans, and I just can't do because I am pulling for the Cowboys no matter what, even if I.
Well, you could do the Texans to go underdog, go for the Cowboys.
So my lock of the week is Rams. The Rams versus the Pats. I'm taking the Rams on the road. They're up and down, but they're 4-4, and I think Stafford and Puka are going to put up some numbers. And
I think the Rams are getting their 2 offensive linemen back as well. So I see the Rams down the stretch. I think they're going to be a team you don't want to face.
Yeah, I mean the Rams are dangerous. So I will go first, if you don't mind. The underdog of the week. I will go first, if you don't mind. Martin, I am taking the Steelers. At home. Russell Wilson to Pickens, my fantasy pick. Going to have 2 touchdowns, 120 yards. Russell Wilson back to his MVP form. Moving on to 8-3, while the Ravens go down to 7-4.
I tell you what, it will be a close game just because of this Ravens defense. The Steelers are an okay offense, but I still think they'll put up 20. I think they'll score 3 touchdowns. So that's the problem. If you score 3 touchdowns in a game, you've got a chance to win because you've got TJ Watt on the other side.
Yeah. No matter what, this is going to be one of the best games of the year. It always is.
Bear in mind, Martin, Pork's prediction last week for the underdog was the New York Jets.
Here I went 3-3 last week. I think I got my lock, my underdog, and my bold prediction came in last week as well, I believe.
But Johnny, I thought I picked the Panthers?
Oh no, no, it was Pez Pork. That was it. I forgot to change
Yeah,
it.
I thought I picked the
Pez
Panthers
Pork
as
Show.
my
I
underdog.
thought it was really quiet actually.
I just wanted to make sure the record is clear. I
We
did
were
not.
all going to go the Panthers, and then I changed because I thought we can't all
Yeah.
go for the same. That's boring.
Yeah.
I knew somebody changed. I
Well,
will
I
change
did
it on the
pick
here.
first. I did pick first on the underdog.
Well,
Last
I
week.
picked first
You-
because I
you
saw
have
the
a record.
spreadsheet before
What
the
did
start.
you do? Pez, you can go second on the underdog. Who do you got?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. They're playing the Niners. That's right. I almost had the Niners as my lock, but I like the Steelers at home. And yeah, Johnny, who do you have?
The Bungles.
Who are they
Agent J.
playing?
Martin.
They're playing the Chargers.
Are they underdogs in that game?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a
one
tough,
and a half
tough
points.
choice, though.
Jeez. I never thought.
Martin,
I went for, after seeing the Jets last night, I'm going for the Colts.
Wait, the Colts are underdogs?
Yeah, 3.5, I think it
Yeah.
is.
Oh my gosh. How can you be underdogs when Rodgers is hurt? The Colts are
Well,
in disarray.
They'll probably be better without Rodgers, to be honest.
Maybe they are in disarray under Ursay.
Well, that Dan Hansis, who used to do the NFL podcast, he tweeted last night, he's like, is it possible to sack the interim manager?
Yeah, are they going to go?
I've got to
Are
admit,
they
I
going to
do
have
love
two
it when you
interim
lose.
managers and our coaches in one season?
I love it when
Who
you
knows
lose because
with
he's
Woody
a smart
Johnson?
bastard when they win.
Yeah, I like Dan Hansis. I think he's funny.
But he does
Oh,
my head
my.
in when they
You
win,
know,
though. So
This might be one of our longest shows ever, running up on 2 hours.
well,
However,
we're
I've
at
had
the
a
moment,
great time.
so
I think this is the last segment. Is that right, Johnny?
coming up, yeah.
Bold prediction of the week.
All right, we have the bold prediction of the week. And I am going to let Pez go first on this. Pez, your bold prediction last week was what?
Micah Parsons is going to get traded.
Is it not to the Commanders?
Yeah. Well, they got a corner. We said
Commanders.
either Micah Parsons or one of the corners.
Just get someone
Commanders,
else.
you say. Johnny, did you
If
write
it
down our
wasn't Jerry Jones,
what was mine last week?
if it wasn't
Was
Jerry
that?
Jones,
I never-
he would have gone.
I never wrote them down, but mine was 5 defensive or special team touchdowns. I think it was only 2.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
said 4 division leaders were going to lose. Did that happen?
Oh, yeah. So how did that go?
I don't know.
Four?
How accurate was
No.
I on that?
Well, my
You
one
were
came in.
carrying-
I said there would be 60 points in the Ravens Bungles game, so that one came
Oh,
in.
yeah. That was
That's
quite easy. That was about half time.
bold.
So let's see. Well, the Falcons top, they lost. The
It's only the
Steelers just
Falcons.
won.
Cardinals
That's
won.
it.
Steelers
That's it, huh?
won. Oh no,
No,
Commanders
there was-
lost as well.
The Commanders lost. There were two. They were guaranteed to get 1.
So I got 2?
Yeah, I think you got 2.
Yeah, you got 2.
All right. Well, so I'm not. My bold prediction did not happen. So Pez, this week, who's being traded?
The
Who's
bold
being
prediction is
released?
no one's getting traded this week.
Yeah.
No, Bob, how many trades in the Octable this week?
Yeah.
After
fucking
last
hell.
week.
How many trades is
Fucking
Division
hell.
2? 15. I don't actually know.
Okay, I will go
Michael.
first.
Yeah,
You
you
guys
go
are-
first. I'm
I
blanking
got
here.
mine. My bold prediction this week is Tua Tagovailoa, or however you say his name.
Tagovailoa.
There you go. He is going to throw for 5 touchdowns. and only one of those will be to Tyreek Hill.
Is this defensive touchdowns or proper touchdowns?
Any touchdown.
Any touchdowns, cool. Just sort of check, right?
No, he just said Tua will throw for 5 touchdowns. That's literally what he just
Yeah,
said.
but you didn't say what team though. Again, it could have been a defensive
Yeah,
Stop
touchdown.
helping him out. 5 touchdowns.
That's still a touchdown.
Interceptions for
Yeah, he
touchdowns.
And only one will be to Tyreek. I better write this down. I'll forget.
Yeah, well, somebody has to write them down. I can't write it all down. Well,
I've got. Oh, you go next.
Or you go there, Martin. I was going to say, in the Thursday night game, Daniels and Hurts will both run for over 75 yards and at least 1 touchdown each. Because they'll be running for their life.
Okay, again, I'm sorry. I was typing mine out. What did you say, Johnny?
That both Hurts and Daniels will both rush for over 75 yards each and at least 1 touchdown each on Thursday night.
Yeah, okay. You know, I think that's a good one. I like that. I think that's definitely doable. But it is bold because it's not usual both quarterbacks would have that type of game. So, Martin, Pez, who would like to go first?
Go on, Martin, if you've got yours.
So after this, it's been a poor week for kicking. So I think this week we will see a 60+ kick in the league.
There was one this week.
No,
Sorry.
he went
Is that
short.
really
Yeah, there was
bold?
somebody
Denver?
there that scored a 60-yard touchdown. No, who was it again?
Why don't you say Justin will kick a 60-yard field goal for the game winner?
Or even a field goal.
Tucker is. Oh no! Right. Well, actually, we'll go the other way.
Oh, Twitter is eating him up, saying Tucker is washed.
Oh, he's not been good. I didn't. There was a 58 last night, but then there was a 58. There was a 50 odd missed as well.
I'm pretty sure,
58
I'm pretty sure there was a 60.
58 was missed.
There was a
in the Lions.
61 by the Broncos at the end of the first half, but they missed it. They were short.
And Brandon Aubrey can put out 68 with kicking a
But
30.
teams just aren't doing it because kickers keep missing. They're missing mad now.
Well, yeah, and it's the field position. That's the problem. If you kick a 60-yard field goal, you got to be damn close to the 50-yard line, right? Because 50 plus 10 is 60 already. So you got to add.
Or was it the
7
week before?
yards, right?
I know that the Bills got one the week before for 61 yards to win the game.
Aye, that was because he needed that because he was going to lose his job. Maybe that boy.
But that's all right, Martin. Hey.
You can have it, Martin. I can't remember anyone scoring a
We'll learn
60.
this bold prediction thing next time. We'll go ahead and have you down for a 60-yarder, as that's so bold these days.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
What are you going to do? A kicker is going to get
Xavier
a
Worthy.
45-yarder?
Xavier Worthy is going to
Oh.
go for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bills.
Now that is bold.
that is bold.
All
He's
right.
got to catch a
Don't
ball.
fuck around.
I like it. it.
Don't.
Yeah, there was a
100
56 and
100
52
yards.
and 58 in the 10 Detroit.
2 TDs. All right. I got the bold predictions written down so that I don't know. I can't. There you go. So next week, we will have them recorded. And with that, we have now pushed it to 2 hours. Martin, I have loved having you here in our show. I appreciate you taking time out. I know you're very busy. 2 hours is a lot to ask. Thank you for being here. As
No
always,
problem.
Dr. Pez, your guidance in our fantasy mental health is always needed. And Johnny, thank you for your hard work in the production booth. I am the Sizzling Pork. Till next time. Later. Oh, before we go, don't forget to like and subscribe. And Pez, what do you have?
Nothing. I was just saying bye. I was saying cheers for coming on, Martin.
Oh, it's been nice having me. Thank you.
Johnny, last words?
Thank you, Martin. No, we'll see you next week. But
See
we
you
do have
next
another
week.
mystery guest, but they'll be joining us by phone maybe, but I don't know when that'll be. So,
All right. I love it.
All right.
See you next week, everyone. Bye.
See ya.